Hello and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And yeah, different video. We're talking about England instead of West Ham today, but we talk about more than just West Ham on this channel. If you do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. We're trying to hit 1K as soon as possible at GVO Mikes if you want to follow me on all platforms, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, most importantly. But yeah, Thomas Tuchel is going to be the next England manager. That's been reported by the Times, and Fabrizio Romano has confirmed it. Um, Breaking news: Thomas Tuchel has completed the agreement to become new England manager. Terms agreed. Contract set to be signed with an official statement expected soon. Tuchel opened doors to England job in July. Now it's a done deal. So it's all done. Now we know that Lee Carsley didn't want the job. He didn't want the job, and I think I thought a long time ago that Lee Carsley would get it. I thought he would get it. I thought they'd do the same thing they did with Southgate, let the under 21s manager get the job and just do everything in house. But the Thomas Tuchel one has actually surprised me. It hasn't surprised me that he's wanted the job, um, because I think Thomas Tuchel was just begging to redeem himself after the time at Bayern Munich and well, even after his time at Chelsea as well. He wants to actually settle somewhere. But I do actually think that this is a good appointment. I think this is actually a good appointment. Now, I know a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but maybe some people. There's going to be a group of people out there that are going to comment on the fact that he's German. And yes, I get it. He is German, and it's a German guy as an England manager. But that shouldn't matter if you really want to win stuff as a nation. If you're ready to win stuff as a nation, and you're demanding the fact that the Southgate thing wasn't good enough, the whole Southgate reign wasn't good enough in your opinion, you felt like he was underachieving, as I did, um, then you should be ready for an appointment like this. Because to be fair to Thomas Tuchel, I don't actually rate him as, let's say Man United got him, or when he like at Chelsea, think he did good to get the best out of what he had. It's just his talent idea is very dodgy. Like he's been linked with Premier League clubs before. I remember he was linked with Tottenham before. I don't know how strong that was at the time when before Postecoglou got the job, and he's been linked with the Man United job. I thought he would be the next guy to get the Man United job, um, and I thought that would be a really bad appointment just because in league form, I don't know what a Thomas Tuchel team is. I don't know what the identity of a Thomas Tuchel team is. I don't know what he does really. Sometimes he plays 4-2-3-1. Sometimes it's three at the back. He just kind of adapts to the players almost, which can be good if you're just an interim, but that's it really. Like after the Champions League win against Chelsea, which he did, Champions League win for Chelsea, which he did really well to do. Don't get me wrong, um, and he didn't do a terrible job afterwards. But you'd like to think that okay, the attackers weren't great, but I don't know what a Tuchel team was. But then again, you could also argue if Tuchel had an ownership equivalent of a Chelsea ownership now, would we see a Thomas Tuchel team now? Then maybe. But I also think his time at Bayern wasn't good enough either. His time at Bayern wasn't good enough. I didn't watch them week in, week out. But let's be fair. Let's be fair here. Like I still think he can get the best out of you in cups. I think he's a cup manager. And I think he's proven that before. He can get into finals. And he can I don't know whether England will win anything under Tuchel. Because I just don't think England will win anything in general, but that's just the pessimist in me coming out. But in terms of getting them into finals, he could do that job that Southgate did. He can make England hard to beat. If you want to see a video on what a Thomas Tuchel team would look like under England, um, well, what an England team would look like under Thomas Tuchel, sorry, then let me know and I'll do that video for you tomorrow. But this kind of makes sense in a way. But I'm very curious then to see what kind of squad he's gonna pick because if he does the whole three at the back stuff, it can work. Playing on the counter and stuff, that can work. I am interested to see how he can do with that. My only thing is, as much as he's a big name manager, what England actually really needed is someone that can coach, but also doesn't care about name brands. A bit like what Spain do, really. Like, I'm not saying Spain have left anyone like massive out to not hinder the squad or anything, but I'm saying, for example, England have had a problem over the years where it's just been name brand and favourites over the actual team, which has kind of hindered the team, in my opinion, and a lack of ruthlessness within taking players off if you actually want to win a league win a tournament without trying to upset any big egos. As much as Tuchel has managed big egos before, does he have it in him to, you know, take those big names off if they're performing badly? Does he have it in him to maybe pick someone who, you know, is a bit underrated, for example, who's performing really well over someone that's just a big name and that's his favorite? I'm really interested to see what happens, but I think it's a good appointment. I actually think it's a good appointment, but I would have preferred I don't know who, by the way, don't ask me who, but I would have preferred England to have gone the Spain route by getting someone who can coach, who picks like players are not by name brands that just fits what they want to do, so the whole team can just gel very quick. Because that obviously we haven't got as many good technicians as Spain. We don't. Um, we've got good wingers, but we haven't got wingers like them that fit into a specific system so good. Like we are struggling with left wingers in England right now. The best one's probably Anthony Gordon, Rashford, and Sterling ain't it anymore. I do think Sterling for England's decent though. To be fair, if we're using the whole good for England argument, it's going to be interesting to see what formation he plays. I think if he goes to four, I don't think from what I've seen with Tuchel since Chelsea, he's better at coaching a three, but that is also with the context of the players that he also had at his disposal as well. But I'm very interested to see who gets picked. Like, I just don't want it to be the old guard again. I just don't want it to be a lot of players from the old guard that get picked because nothing goes anywhere if you still line up an England team with Trippier, Maguire, Stones, Walker, Kane. Like, I'm talking not necessarily like Kane has to go or anything because Kane is still Kane, but I'm saying like Kane and Stones can stay, for example, but people like Walker are done. Trippier's done. Maguire is he's not that good for England as people think. Um, is he going to be ruthless enough with the midfielders that he picks? Is he going to acknowledge someone like an Adam Wharton who deserves to be in the squad? An Angel Gomez who's shined so far for England, and acknowledge that there's a problem within the technical side of midfield and try and pick someone who's not a big name but is a bit more of a technical player? Is he going to do the whole big club bias as Lee Carsley and Southgate have done? And I know Lee Carsley picked Gibbs White and Angel Gomez, but he also just picked Solanke. Uh, like I don't think he would have picked Solanke if he played for Bournemouth, for example. He picked Gomez and Gibbs White because he managed them before. So Southgate and Carsley have known to pick favourites in the past. And it's like when we were all begging for Grealish to get an England call up, and as soon as he goes to Man City, he finally gets trusted on a regular basis. And only now and then would he um, would he get a call up at Villa, for example? So if Tuchel wants to learn anything from the previous managers, is to not do that and pick people that either are going to fit what he does and just do that instead, or pick people on form. I think there needs to be a balance of form and what they can bring you, what they can bring to your system. And if you're calling players like when you're obviously going to call different players in the same positions, for example, all your players have to bring something different, especially in the attacking areas. So I'm very curious as to see what kind of lineups Tuchel comes out with, and what kind of squads he picks. I'm gonna assume he's gonna be in charge of the next international break. So I'm very interested to see how that happens from there. Obviously, we don't have a tournament until 2026, so uh, just under 2 years. So we're gonna wait. But we will see. We will see, people. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Leave your thoughts in the comments below on what you think of Thomas Tuchel being the appointment of an England job. But listen, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe if you are new. My social medias are in the description if you want to follow me. The email for the inquiries. I'll see you guys later.